Hello everybody, my name is Biffa and today we are taking a deep dive look into roundabouts. Yes, love them or hate them, they are here to stay. Some people swear that they're the best thing since sliced bread, other people hate them. Well, we're going to see why you should be using them, where you can use them, how to build them, how to make them better. We're going to have some tips for those of you playing in vanilla and those of you playing in modded as well. So we're going to get into all of that after we've had a word from our sponsor, NordVPN. And let's check in on Hugo and see how he's getting on. This is Hugo. Hugo's data is travelling over the information superhighway through the internet to a location far, far away. Sadly, Hugo's data is unable to reach its destination. Little does Hugo know that sending his data to travel the internet superhighway is fraught with danger. Poor Hugo. What can we do to help Hugo? Well, Hugo helped himself by installing NordVPN. Hugo's data is now free to travel safely, quickly and inconspicuously to its destination. Congratulations, Hugo. So what does Hugo and the solution to his problem have to do with you, dear viewer? Well, like Hugo, every day you send your data over the internet to far-flung places, but there are many dangers along the way. With NordVPN, like Hugo, you can have a fast and secure roadway to your destination. With over 5,500 super-fast servers in over 60 countries, you can be fast and safe travelling the internet no matter where you are or where you want to get to. And when we're eventually allowed to leave our homes and start using public Wi-Fi again, NordVPN will keep you safe and secure there too. So whether you are at home or outside, on PC, Android, Mac, Linux or iOS, NordVPN has your back. To get NordVPN, go to nordvpn.com/Biffa and use the coupon code Biffa. With this code, you can get 70% off a 3-year plan plus 1 whole month free. That's £2.69 or $3.49 per month. Less than a price of a decent cup of tea. So what are you waiting for? Check out nordvpn.com/Biffa right now. So the question remains, why use roundabouts? Well, in my honest opinion, and based on all the hours that I have in Cities Skylines, when you have a high traffic area, roundabouts just keep things moving smoothly. And that normally is the #1 fix to solving traffic in your city. If you can keep your cars moving, then you will not have any traffic. It sounds obvious, but roundabouts can really help with that. For instance, let's replace this roundabout with a straight up junction. So here we go, a standard 4-way junction with traffic lights, and it doesn't take long before cars start backing up, getting in each other's way, and this is going to start causing traffic jams throughout our city. So how do you build a roundabout? Well, in the vanilla game you have these two options here, a smaller roundabout and a slightly larger road roundabouts that you can just plop down within the game. And you can of course just use the inbuilt tools to build your own roundabout as well. And of course, roundabouts don't have to be round. Here we have an oblongabout, which works really well with all of these industrial roads that converge into one place. So use your imagination when building your roundabouts. Okay, so let's take a look at a standard junction like this. 3 lanes in, 3 lanes out on each road. How can we improve it? As we can see, the traffic is building up in all directions. Now, let's go through some vanilla tips first. Okay, so you could first of all just straight up replace this with a roundabout, perhaps one of the ones that's built into the game. Okay, there we go. Let's see how that works. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we need to work a little bit on this. So let's take a look at the options you have available to you in vanilla. If we go down to here, we have the junction option. So we can add the nearest thing to a yield or a giveaway sign, which is a stop sign. So let's add that on and see whether that helps the traffic move a little bit better on our roundabout. Okay, that's not too bad. Things are now moving better on there, which is good. By the way, I have this map set up to simulate heavy traffic coming into this area. So this is a very good test for roundabouts. So that's a good start. Well, we're going to make a couple of changes to this roundabout. So before we do that, and so the shape isn't lost of the roundness of the roundabout, let's just brace our roundabout like that. We're then going to delete the roads going back a reasonable amount, and we are going to add a slight difference to the roads around here. So adding these angled roads like this makes it a lot easier for cars heading onto the roundabout to get into the traffic. So now, instead of the road hitting straight into the side of the roundabout and it becoming quite a sharp turn to get onto the roundabout, it's now a lot easier for these cars to merge into the traffic. So that is going to help your roundabout a lot. And as you can see, things are moving quite well, quite smoothly. The traffic keeps moving, which is our ultimate aim. Now, if you do put these types of roundabouts in your city using these motorway or highway style roads, don't forget there's no way for people to walk along them. So you are in effect cutting off any pedestrian access from one side of this to the other. So you definitely want to add some walking paths over a roundabout made with these roads. There we go, something like that will help your citizens get from one side to the other. And of course in vanilla, you would have to build those by hand. Now, a further little tip, and this applies to any size of roundabout, the road that's coming onto your roundabout needs to be equal to or less than the amount of lanes that is on the roundabout. So here we can see 4 lanes coming onto this 3-lane road, and it just makes it a lot harder for traffic that's merging in. It's going to get into each other's way. So certainly you want to downgrade this to 3 lanes at the most, or in this case we were using this 2-lane one-way road like that, and that will certainly work much, much better. Now, generally speaking, the more traffic there is, the larger the roundabout I would build, just so there's more space for those cars to keep moving. But this is the exact same junction with a much smaller roundabout, and things are still moving pretty well. Now, as we said, this is a vanilla roundabout, so let's see what mods are available that can help you to tweak your roundabouts even more. Probably the biggest one, the one that I use the most, is Traffic Manager. I'm using the Labs edition. You can find that if you search for TMPE or Traffic Manager on the Steam Workshop, and this has some built-in tools to really help your roundabout use. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to use this one here, and if you notice the little pop-up there, I'm going to use the Control Shift and Click option, which says Quick Setup High Priority Road/Roundabout, and that is going to change a number of things on the roundabout. So first of all, we notice here these lanes, we have one lane going off, and because of our lane setup that we have here, this middle lane is being used for straight on and for coming off, which in some circumstances will be fine, but if it's a very high traffic area, I tend to like to have each lane have a dedicated purpose. So the outside lane for coming off, the inside 2 for going around. So if we click this, this is also going to change. Let's go back to the vanilla options. So we added stop signs in. That's the best you've got in vanilla. They are all going to be changed to yield or give way signs. So let us just set this up. Control Shift Click, and as you hover over, it shows you where the roundabout is. Click, and there we go. And you could see it added a whole load of different things. So here it's got no lane switching. Here we now have give way coming on, and these orange squares surrounded by white are basically just carry on through that junction that don't slow down. So that is going to help this work a lot better. And if I remember rightly, it has turned off all the stop signs. No, I have to do those myself. There we go, there we go, there we go. Excellent. So that is going to help this move much, much better and handle much more traffic. Okay, so something else you want to change. This is down just to the way the vanilla game works. We have our little slip road coming off here, joining this one, and there's 2 lanes into 2 lanes, but the game recognizes that there is a road over here, so it wants to use this lane to go round to there. So technically at the minute we're only getting 1 lane off of here because of the way we've got this set up. But let's sort that out now. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to go into this one here, the lane connector. We're going to select that node and Control S, and now these lanes are straight on, these lanes are straight on, which is really good. And also you notice the cars are stopping here, they're not entering this junction if there's no way to get straight across. We can help that as well. We'll just use this junction restriction tool here, and we just use this option, enter the junction, and they will just use that piece of space. So now I'm going to set that up on all the other junctions as well. There we go, and with a very heavy traffic flow coming in from each direction, we can see this is working really well. And the difference between stop sign and give way, perhaps you're not a driver so you don't know. With a stop sign, the car has to stop there and check for cars, whether there's cars coming or not. With a yield or a give way sign, you might notice sometimes they just keep on going through, even if there's a car in this general vicinity here, which means more trucks and cars can get out and move onto the roundabout. So that is a good option. You'll also notice that this roundabout now has all the crossings removed from the roads in the middle of the roundabout. So you want to add on your walking paths. Well, instead of building them by hand, which you would have to do in vanilla, which is fine, there is actually a mod available for that, of course, like everything. The pedestrian bridge builder, that's the name of it. You can just search for that in the Steam Workshop. We click on that. I'm not going to go through all the options, but the default options are to add walkways like you saw before. So that now helps your pedestrians to get from one side to the other without crossing over and stopping the cars. And you could even use some roads here that don't have crossways as well to really make sure the pedestrians don't get in the way. And while we're on the subject of roads, Network Extensions 2 gives you lots of different road options. So we're going to put these ones in here. This is the 2-lane highway, and that takes away all the little crossings that are in the way down there. Having done that, I'm going to need to set up the traffic manager stuff again, but that is fine. There we go. So Network Extensions 2, definitely worth checking out to give you lots of different road options to make your roundabouts even better. Couple of other mods, of course, that are going to get used if you're fine-tuning your roundabouts is the Move It mod that enables you to grab junctions, move them around, line them up, change the shape of the roads, all that sort of thing. There is also the Roundabout Builder mod. You can choose what type of road you would like to use for your roundabout. You can have it automatically set up Traffic Manager the way you like it set up. And you literally just click on a junction. Oh, let's turn that on again. There we go. Plus and minus on your keyboard to change the size of the roundabout, and you just click and go, and that is automatically set up for you. So in your bustling cities, what are good places to use a roundabout? Well, let's just cover some of the basic ones. Now, quite often when you start off a city, you have this sort of T-junction intersection set up like this, and at the end of that is normally a good place to put a roundabout to help your traffic move freely in and out of the city. And then as your city expands, you may end up with something like this, which was a pre-built junction on this map, but you can do it yourself. You've got your main highway that goes through unimpeded through the city in each direction. We've got this big main road that comes through and wants to get to the other side, and underneath we have this oval shaped roundabout which is set up in the same way as the other roundabouts, dedicated turning lanes, give way signs, all of that lovely goodness. And then of course we have slip lanes that come down here onto and off of that roundabout, and you've got walking paths that go over the top from one side to the other. Not the most beautiful paths you've ever seen, but they definitely serve the purpose they were made for. And then you might find places in your city where you have a busy school on one side of a road. On the other side, you have all your houses, maybe a little bit of industry, and the roads that meet each other get particularly busy. And we've just got a simple little roundabout set up here. 2-lane roads coming on, 4-lane road, 4-lane road, 4-lane road, and it nicely works on a roundabout of that size. And of course, you can also decorate the center of it. Just search for roundabout on the Steam Workshop and you will find items like this. Shock horror, what is this? It is a 2-way roundabout. So we have 2 lanes going clockwise, 2 lanes going anti-clockwise, a load of houses built around the outside. Well, this roundabout in my city was just actually built for the look of it. It's not that busy. The only people that are using this are the people that live in this section here. There's one way in, one way out onto the main roads that run around the outside. And something like that I just think can look nice. Fill it with water, put a cafe on it, something along those lines. And roundabouts can be used for decoration as well. And why not do something like this with your roundabout? Decorate the interior, put in a monorail station and a park. And you can see all the park gates on every single side. The only way all of these people can get in here is by paying to enter through the park. Don't look at that. Oh, it's a police car. That's fine. So yeah, roundabouts can also be money-making devices as well. Oh look, roundabout money-making number 1. It's even possible, if you squint a little bit, to have trainabouts. Yeah, I like to get roundabouts into almost everything. They just work really, really well. Thank you once again to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to go and check out nordvpn.com/biffa so you can get 70% off a 3-year plan plus 1 month free. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe for future videos where we look at city skylines, build the city of TeaVille like you've seen here, and also we will have an even deeper dive into the technicalities of roundabouts, comparing them to junctions and seeing what else you can do to eke every single piece of movement out of the traffic in your city to keep it growing. Thank you for watching. I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.